Okay, then it is international break for women's football.
Yep.
It's a weekend at home for us. Yeah, England played Portugal on Friday night. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of feel. So, but yeah, episode 7, Charlie and Kirsty talk women's football, and here we are talking about England versus Portugal first. So, 1-1.
Lucy Broad's assist. You all know how much of a big Bronzy fan I am. You can't even see it on the camera. How much of a big Bronzy fan I am. But yeah, there was no taking away how well she played the other night. And clearly, because as soon as she came off at half time, England fell apart.
Yeah, she was a big miss, wasn't she? So,
Mm-hmm.
let's kind of go with the lineup first. So, obviously, Marriott starts in goal.
Yeah.
You have Neve Charles. Finally, we have a left back.
Yeah.
We had Neve Charles at left back. We had Lucy Bronze as always at right back, and then Leah Williamson, Millie Bright as centre backs. We had a midfield three of Grace Clinton, Kira Walsh, and Ella Toone. And then the front three was Lauren James, Leslie Russo, and Jess Park.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about the lineup first. What did you think when you seen the lineup come out for England?
I mean, favourites was the first thing that popped into my head
Who?
in terms of like Millie Bright, Lucy Bronze, Kira Walsh, Ella Toone, for example. But actually, I was quite hopeful. I thought that we'd play really well. I saw us winning, to be honest. I didn't really know many of the Portugal players, but when I looked into it, I felt like we had enough to be able to win, which obviously turned out not to be the case.
Yeah.
It was quite a stressful watch, to be honest. I know some of the people that will listen to this were in our live on TikTok. And there was a lot of shouting at the telly. There was a lot of Charlie, I can't do this. But yeah, it was an interesting one. It wasn't the outcome I expected. I'm normally really good at watching the press conferences as well, which I haven't done after this match because I just didn't see the point.
No, it was it. Let's start with the positives. Let's start with the positives first.
Lucy Bronze, Lucy Bronze, Lucy Bronze.
So yeah, the goal comes from playing out wide. So Neve Charles plays out wide, plays
Yeah,
it to Lauren James. Lauren James skips past the player, starts to cut inside, switches the ball to Lucy Bronze, which she absolutely pelted it at
yeah,
her
she
for
did.
one. Lucy Bronze does really well to control it, take it forward, whacks it in the box, and Russo's first one there knocks it straight through, 1-0 England. And you're thinking, you know, easy enough. I think it was in the first 15 minutes we were 1-0 up or something
Hmm.
like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, you think
exactly 15 minutes she
yeah,
scored.
so you're thinking, yeah, nice, easy. But apart from that, I think we just struggled. Like,
Mm.
I think the problem that we had was that with Russo, she likes to drift out wide. With Jess Park, she's used to playing in the 10. I know she started as a winger for people that obviously know her from her younger days, but like she normally plays in the 10 at City. Then you've got
Yeah,
Lauren
she
James
does.
who can play out wide, number 9, or in the 10. So it's like I think we just had too much movement going on. You got Toon, Lauren James, Jess Park, all cams,
Yeah.
all attacking midfielders playing in different positions. It just didn't work.
No, it
It
didn't.
didn't click.
I'm a bit confused as to why Luce came off at half time. Like I said, I've not really had chance to look into it, but unless it's tactical from the fact that she's getting old,
It will
she's
no, it'll
got
be the game coming up.
like yeah, we obviously play Spain on Wednesday, so I'm wondering if it was kind of a right. Let's just make sure she's rested so she is able to play. Um, Chloe Kelly as well came on, obviously 83rd minute along with Aggie Beaver Jones. She came on for Jess Park, and Aggie Beaver Jones replaced Grace Clinton. Um, Chloe's normally pretty good impact sub, and I don't know whether it's because she's had a lot less game time. And this isn't me slandering Chloe Kelly because she left City and all that jazz, but I do feel like I was expecting almost another goal in the last 7 minutes from her, and it just didn't come.
Yeah, I just think with that one, I think they should have. I think in that 10 role, it should have been either Ella Toon, Jess Park, or Lauren James.
Yeah.
I don't think playing all three is the answer. I think you should have played one of them in the 10 and then play Chloe Kelly out wide, or start with Aggie Beaver Jones,
Let's look at the bench.
or even
Let's
Jess
get the
Naz. And
bench
I'm
up.
not the biggest Jess Naz fan. However, she offers something different to them two. And don't get me wrong, Lauren James and Jess Park both played well. Like they
Yeah,
both
they
did play
did.
well, but it's just like they're not wingers. And Lauren James can get away with it because she's
Well,
in my opinion, one of the most technical players in that whole squad.
Even I'm not a kind of Lauren James advocate, but I think she played really, really well.
She was very good. She just
was
skips
really
past
good to
players.
say that she's not been in for a while and then she's kind of just slipped straight back in again. And I think she played really well. In terms of subs, I think I would have probably rather have had Nikita Paris come on. Genuine. Because of her form at the minute, I would have rather have brought her on possibly.
Yeah. The
than
problem
Chloe
with that is
already.
the problem with that is though that she primarily does play as the 9, doesn't
Mm.
she? Nikita Paris, but I don't know. I just it didn't feel right.
Oh, Blanky.
The back four was fine. Like the back four was fine. Neve Charles and Lucy Bronze really played well. It's just that the middle two are just
It's
I don't
questionable,
know.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody's always like, oh my God, Kira Walsh. But I don't always see it. I struggle to see it with Kira Walsh. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to come at me and be like, she's one of the best midfielders in the world. But I just couldn't see it in this instance.
She is. No, she 100%
No, but
is.
I mean, for England in this game,
But
I didn't see that.
The problem with Kira Walsh when she plays for England is that if Kira Walsh plays well, then England play well. And if she doesn't play well, it's because she just gets marked out of a game. And like you'll see against Spain, if Kira Walsh plays, they'll literally just stick someone on Kira Walsh because the way that England play is everything goes through Kira, so she receives it as the midfield right in front of the defenders, and then she's the one that plays us out. And that's why a lot of the time it had to go to Leah instead. And that's why Leah was trying to play them big passes that she always plays, was because no one could get on the ball. They couldn't get Kira on it because she was just marked out the game.
Well, you've
Happens
just
so
moved on to my
often.
next point. I was just going to say about Wednesday is that obviously, and I know you're going to say everybody does their research. I understand that. I get that. They all do the tactics and they go through everything. But I think Kira Walsh and Lucy Bronze, majority of their ex-teammates play for Spain. Spain is very Barcelona heavy. And I feel like that might not help us on Wednesday.
Doesn't really
but
matter.
We had this leads on well to the next point actually. We actually had a conversation about Leah Williamson the other night, and we were saying, is it sometimes that when the armband goes on to be captain of the country, she can't always handle the pressure as well as you'd expect her to?
It's a difficult one because for some players, being the captain makes you a better player. So like for example, Jordan Henderson. When Jordan Henderson is captain, because he's not the best technically and he's not like a skillful player, it kind of it like attributes to his game. He can play better because he can see everything that he needs to, and he can slow the game down. But I feel like with Leah, she takes it so on board because she's such a passionate person.
She is, yeah.
She's so passionate that she has to do everything right. And I think that's why she makes a lot of these passes that don't go off, is because she wants to be the one that gets us forward. When she notices that Kira can't get on the ball, she tries to play it straight to the wingers every time. And it's like, sometimes you just need to just take the sting out of the game and just play a 5-yard pass sometimes, instead of trying to get the ball and do the Trent Alexander-Arnold 65-yard ping across the pitch. Like, it just doesn't always work.
We're seeing that a lot.
They're such hard passes to do.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. And I think I do worry that the armband does kind of weigh her down, because when she plays for Arsenal, like, yes, she makes the same passes, but I feel like she plays better regularly for Arsenal. Whereas like for England, I just feel like she's always on the back foot. And like the Euro, she didn't make a single tackle. So, you know, it is a tough one. And I do rate her. I do think she's good, but I just worry that this kind of social media presence kind of gets onto her a little bit more, and she feels like she has to do everything right because everyone's such a massive fan of her on social media. But it's tough. It's tough.
You're good at this leading on to my next point thing. We will come back to England, Spain and things for Wednesday's match later on in the pod. But talking about Leah's presence on social media, Arsenal have got a campaign at the moment with Purcell. I have briefly mentioned it to you. Charlie doesn't actually know what gets discussed in the podcast until we're sat doing this, so he may sometimes just wonder what's going on. But so Arsenal have this campaign around female period. I absolutely love the advert, because the advert for it, Leah Williamson starts with, I've won the European Championships with England and I was on my period.
Yeah, it's like, hi, I'm Leah, isn't it?
Yeah, hi, I'm Leah and I won the European Championship on my period. And I think it is something that does need to be talked about more, especially with the whole argument around white shorts. I know that as a female, when I was at school, I always, always, always found an excuse to not have to do PE when I was on my period, because it was something I was always scared I was going to leak. I was embarrassed by it, and I just don't think that that should be something that is the case in 2025. And I think Arsenal have done a massive kind of positive move with getting Beth Mead and Liam Williamson, who are two phenomenal big players, to talk about how it affects them as players. And I think it's important as well that I'm not saying that all female footballers have to come out on the pitch and go, oh, by the way, I'm on my period. Did you know?
Wearing a big sign.
But yeah, but I do think in terms of, especially with the links that are being made between female injury, depending on where they are in their menstrual cycle, it might be beneficial for it to be more open. Because then when players do get injured, they kind of, people might understand more that it could be that they've torn their ACL or they've got another type of injury while they've been on their period, because their body responds to everything so differently. And I know there is a lot of studies going on, but big up Arsenal for putting that out there.
I
It
feel
made
like we're
me as
at
a
the
female want
centre
to
most
talk.
of the
Yeah,
time. I
I
feel like
agree with you.
we're always the ones that are at the centre for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I can't give you an example, and I can't give you evidence, but I just feel like Arsenal is, maybe because I just see it more on my social media, but I always think that we're the ones that are
Yeah.
at the forefront of change a lot of the time, especially in the women's game.
And I mean, as well, like, there was also another campaign during the North London Derby where there were
Yeah.
adverts going around relating to finding ovarian cancer earlier on, which again is something massive. It's another thing that doesn't often get talked about. And when you've got women's football, ruling you out here, but a lot of female fans go to that game, and I feel like because all of this is being related to in terms of football, I can relate to it. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
it's
And I pay
the
more
females'
attention
game,
to
isn't
it
it?
because it is, well, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's the
right. It is the
females' game.
females' game.
Things that go on in a female's life should
Yeah.
be talked about in female football.
Well, that was the
Makes
thing.
sense.
And one of the main reasons I wanted to talk about the personal campaign on the podcast was because as a female with suspected endometriosis, I've spent my whole life not telling people when I was on my period and having to sneak out of lessons and not being open at all. And I feel after seeing this campaign, I as a female can be more open about it, because if my favourite footballers are doing it, why can't I?
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
And
I think it's a massive thing.
And also, just with that as well, have you seen the most recent thing that we've done? So I can't remember if it was the men's game or women's game. It might have been the men's game, but they were giving out leaflets about like sexual violence.
All right, okay.
So I'll have
Is
to
that part of
find
the No
it.
Red campaign, or was that
I'll have to
Knife?
find it. Let me find it now. Yeah, so they brought out a leaflet and they gave it out to all fans, and it was basically Arsenal supports against sexual violence, and it basically inside of it had like stats to do with like players, to do with like football clubs, and it was just like giving statistics based on things that happen that a lot of people don't really know about, and just kind of
Yeah.
spreading the awareness. And like you said, I think it just leads on to your next point in terms of like big news that's happened.
Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, which I'm surprised if you don't know this, Luis Rubiales at the end of the World Cup final kissed Jenni Hermoso without her permission. And there was a whole thing about getting him out of the kind of that power position. And a lot of the female players, you had Alexi Putellas, you had Jenni Hermoso herself, there was Cadena, and there was somebody else who have all played a big part in this court case of giving evidence and kind of character references and things. And he has actually been found guilty this week.
Good.
So after, it's what, 2 years on?
Yeah.
18 months on, and it's taken this long for her to get justice. And if I have a look over here, he has been fined €10,800. He didn't get a prison sentence, which, you've sexually assaulted somebody, you should probably have that. But also, he's not allowed to contact her, and he also is not allowed any closer than, well, he's not allowed 200 meters away from her for the next year.
Good.
But the fact it's taken a whole 18 months to get to that point, and she's had to relive this trauma in the limelight, it's just not good enough. It's not. But
yeah, it's tough as well because like from a male coach in a female sport kind of like perspective, it's tough because like when someone's at the top and they're just so awful as a person,
Yeah.
it does start to feed down and like it does create that kind of conversation, doesn't it? Of like, well, that should there be no male
Yeah.
coaches? So yeah, good riddance. See you later.
No, he's gone. But that then also brings us back to Spain. England obviously play Spain on Wednesday night. I am slightly nervous.
I'm
I
so
can't
glad I'm missing
lie.
it.
I've actually, although I apologise to Charlie's football team here, I put my hand up. You have all asked me to attend your training session on Wednesday. However, I will be at home watching the Lionesses. Soz. But no, I am very nervous for it. I think Spain have got a lot over us at the moment. I'm not saying that we can't win. I just don't see it happening.
England will win.
Do you think? No. Let me get.
I'll tell you why.
Go on.
I'll tell you why England will win. England will beat Spain by 1 or 2 goals, purely because Spain will dominate the ball.
Yeah.
And we'll get the ball. Lucy Bronze won't make the same mistake she did in the World Cup. She'll go wide, she'll cross it in.
I'll never hear the end of it.
And Russo will win the game. Thank you very much.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, you can clip this up after as well.
Yeah, we'll clip this up and then next week I can remind him of it on the podcast.
We'll clip this up and we'll stitch it to the goal right now, and then that will happen.
Right, okay. That's what Charlie reckons. I mean, I'm not saying we haven't got the squad to be able to beat them. I just think we might need fresh legs.
I think it's just a different tactic as well.
Sarina Wiegman, this is me putting it out there. Please, can Nikita Paris play and Laura Blinky, please?
No.
Blinky Brown needs to be on that pitch.
No.
Luce Bronze, Millie Bright.
Play a back 5, please. Please play a back 5. That's the only thing I ask. Would they be on the pitch
at the same time? I was going to say, I might even trust Letizia with this one. Maya Letizia and Lucy Bronze.
The only way you'd do that. No, she should play a back 5 of Niamh Charles on the left, Millie Bright, Jess Carter, Leah Williamson, and then Lucy Bronze on the right. That's what she should play. And if not, put Letizia in if you want to put Letizia in. Not really bothered.
Connor Roberts,
Millie Turner if you want.
Watch this, can you actually appreciate the fact that I have just given my Letizia credit, because that doesn't happen very often.
She's class.
No, she is pretty good.
She'd play there if Lucy Bronze wasn't so good.
Yeah, and I think Lucy's got at least another tournament in her yet, so Letizia, you're going to have to wait.
She doesn't look like slowing down at all.
No, she doesn't.
And she's still got the technique, man.
And she's just come back from an ankle injury as well, which makes me very, very worried for the 4 games we've got coming up against Chelsea.
Just play her in midfield, man. Please.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Please.
Charlie,
Hello.
I have 2 options for you next. Still on the subject of international.
Shock. International break.
International break, yeah. There's obviously the She Believes Cup going on at the minute. So we can either talk Tillies and Japan, which you're going to have to go off my thoughts because I stayed up and watched it.
All of my favourite teams.
Or we've got the Ireland Russia Littlejohn situation. Which would you like to do first?
Let's talk Tillies.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so happy the Tillies lost 4-0.
So the Tillies lost 4-0 to Japan. It was a very, very frustrating game. I am an honorary Tilly. I just love them to bits. And if England hadn't have got as far as they did in the World Cup, Tillies would have been my second team. They lost 4-0 to Japan. Technically, I should probably have been supporting Japan more, considering you had Fujino, we had Yamashita, and we had Yui. Captain Yui, by the way, can we just? Also wearing the number 14, which was funny. But yeah. Lani and Steph got subbed off in the 64th minute. Could one of those goals been avoided if Alana had maybe got there quicker? Possibly. Could one of the other goals have been avoided if 2 of the Tillies defenders didn't run into each other and Mackenzie Arnold could have got there? Most likely. But yeah, it was a difficult watch, and I stayed up until midnight to watch it. I've said my piece. I'm going to sit back now while Charlie rants for however long. Go for it.
All right.
Do not say anything bad about Alana.
All
Alana
right.
is my best
Let's
friend.
talk about the Matildas. No, do you know what? I'm glad that they lost 4-0, and not because of them. I like, you know, fair enough.
The new kit's nice. That's
they're a decent team. They've got really nice players. You know, they've got players who play in really good leagues. We need to put some respect on Japan. Like, so many people overlook Japan because their men's team isn't that good, but their women's team is so good. And I'll tell you why. In the men's game, it's way more physical. Yeah, and Japan and them kind of areas, they're not known to produce, you know, really tall, really physical players. So in the men's game, they get forgotten about. But then when it comes to the women's game and the game is purely technical, Japan dominates so many teams. They beat Spain in the World Cup, and not many people talk about it. It
Nope.
drives me mad. And like they beat the Tillies 4-0, but no one seems to talk about Japan, and it's driving me mental because I really rate Japan. They've got some really good
They
players.
really do.
Most of
They
them play
do.
for City too, so we know how good they are.
Yep,
But
Agent
it's
Yui
like
on it for us.
it just winds me up. But then with the Tillies,
I will get them up later.
because they're so overrated, and I don't mean that as like a harsh comment. I just think because of their presence on social media and their kind of how much people love them for who they are, which is fine. I think they're great too. But a lot of people think that they're better than they are,
Alana changed my life. I'm
and
just saying.
unfortunately they're not. They a lot of the time get carried by Sam Kerr, but then even in the World Cup, they managed to figure out how to play without Sam Kerr. Did really well. Got to the quarters. Sam Kerr comes back and they lose.
I
Like
mean,
it's tough. It's really tough. They're not as good as they're made out to be, but they could be, which is really
I mean,
frustrating. Is it a coach problem? I don't know. Is it
well,
a
they've got
management
their old
problem?
coach. Their old coach before Tony was in is back in at the
I just
moment
think
as
they
interim.
struggle.
But
They struggle in so many games, and personally, I personally think it's because they have like an old school mentality when they play. Like they just try and be physical. Whereas like the women's game is so technical, you need technical players on the ball, and that's why like I don't see Fowler really getting involved, and like
she
Catley
didn't.
and
She
Ford. Like
didn't.
Ford mainly scores their goals because she's probably the best player on the team.
But
But like Fowler should be scoring every single game they play.
yeah,
She's so good. She's
and I'm gonna
unreal at City.
build on your point there because Mary did go missing. I
She
love
does.
Mary. Mary plays for City. She's incredible. Like we were talking last week about how she'd obviously broken the record in the WSL for having four different goal contributions over a consecutive 4 consecutive games. But Mary went missing. Like Mary got subbed off in the 64th minute. I keep looking down by the way because I've got my iPad
Where
here,
did she
so I'm
play?
not.
Can I see the lineup?
Yeah, of course you can. Mary was.
Yeah, see that's the problem. Why is she playing in the number 10? And to be fair, I'll tell you the reason. They've got too many wingers. They've got too many.
Yeah.
You've got Caitlin Ford, Steph Catley, and Hayley Rasser, and Mary Fowler all as the front four. They're all wingers.
Yeah.
Bar
it's
Steph
a
Catley, she
tough
can
one.
play pretty much in the defence. You got wait a minute. Kyra Cooney Cross is playing left back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it was either her or Claire Hunt
Solved
at
the
one
problem.
point that ran in with Lani, which then led to. I felt like the back four were constantly tripping each other up.
That back four is.
That back four was.
And the keeper.
It was a difficult watch. I mean, I love Maka. I am a big I'm an honorary Tilly at this point, but it was tough to watch, and I feel
They're
like
great people. They're unreal people.
they're incredible people.
Unbelievable
Like,
people. What they do for
yeah.
the people of Australia and what they do for people that aren't even Australian and like fans of like when they love them and like the Tillies even commented on our video and we get some of the Tillies watching our videos. Like they're unbelievable people. They're just at their national team. They're just not managed properly.
Yeah, and I feel that the potential that they have got the potential there. You've got some world class players. You've got some really kind of big names in there that are known again for social media presence. You've obviously got Mackenzie Arnold, Ellie Carpenter, Alana Kennedy, Cooney Cross, Steph Catley, Mary Fowler, Rassev, Minnie, Katrina Gorey. You've got Caitlin Ford. You've got Charlie Grant. Like
Them names.
Emily Van Egmond, who's obviously now in the championship. Sorry, no, it's the WSL. They might be in the WSL next year though. You've got so many.
Micah, why is she not starting?
Yeah, Tegan Micah.
She kept Maka out of the team for so long. They put Mackenzie Arnold back in. She lets 4 in. Who do you think is going to start the next game? I'll give you a bet.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough one tonight. I am going to stay up to watch the first half. She says, Australia obviously play America tonight, and America haven't lost for a long while, especially since Emma Hayes came in. And I think that it could be a big number loss.
Especially
tonight.
if Emma Hayes gets Macario playing. Macario scores every single time for America. Like, whatever Emma Hayes says to Macario, I need to know because there's something. She scores pretty much every time.
America beat Colombia 2-0 the other night. The game was on after the Tillies game, but I was far too tired to stay up to watch that afterwards.
Don't you also
Macario
feel like
scored for
she does all the time.
America the other night?
She does all the time. But don't you always feel like America play Colombia? I feel like they play them all the time.
Well, She Believe Cup, so
They play them all the time.
But as well, if you look at this, so if I get the American lineup out, you've also got to remember there's no Trinity Rodman there. You've got no Trinity Rodman.
Why?
Emma Hayes didn't take off.
Again?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't
The triple
complain.
espresso.
Emma
None of
Hayes.
them are there.
Emma Hayes is probably one of the best coaches in women's football.
I can admit that.
I can't complain.
Now she's not in the WSL. I can totally admit that. Like, I think Emma Hayes is an elite manager, and I don't think anybody can question any of her decisions at the moment. But
you know who is
it's
good?
tough.
I can't remember her first name. I want to say Sam. That Coffee.
Yeah,
She's really good. I don't know what her first name is, but she's really good.
You're
Yeah,
right,
Sam Coffee. She's really good.
Oh, she's 2 years younger
I
than us.
quite like her.
She plays at Portland.
She's really good.
The thing is, though,
She'll
as
get a
well,
big move.
you're seeing a lot of NWSL players in there as well, which is
But the
good.
difference for America is they've got a really, really good coach. That's just what Australia need, I guess.
Well, we will come
Give me a
back
call,
to...
Tilly's. Answer the phone.
Yeah, please do, actually. It would be nice to have a reason to fly out to America for a tournament like this next year.
Imagine.
It would be great. But on the topic of the NWSL, we have still got another international point to talk about. But Foudies, can we talk about Foudies? Right, for anybody who doesn't know, and this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but Helen, I do hope you see this because you deserve the credit. Foudies are a women's football jersey company. They sell loads of different stuff. And they announced at the beginning of this week, I'm so excited, that they have now got a partnership with the NWSL. So they are going to have NWSL jerseys for every NWSL team, which means for me that's great because I'm now not going to have to spend an absolute fortune ordering an Alana Kennedy jersey from Angel City Direct. So, but I think that's massive because
it's unreal.
Like, that was one thing that Foudies needed, and they've now got it, and it's just amazing and well deserved. I know they've worked really hard to get there as well, and they've got a little quiz. You need to do the quiz. We will do a video of you doing the quiz to work out which NWSL team you should support.
Oh, no, I know which one I'd support.
Who would you support?
Kansas.
Why?
I like them. What do you mean?
Right, okay, fair. I mean, I can't say nothing, can I? Because the reason I support them, Angel City now, is...
Or maybe San Diego Way for Jonas, because my boy Jonas, still in my heart forever.
That's so bad. That's so bad. But you're gonna have to leave that in. And while we're talking about the NWSL and Angel City, we'll go back to Russia in a bit. We will go back to.
No,
Russia
let's just do it now.
No.
Let's just get out of the way.
No, because this leads in really well. Obviously, Katie Delham left United at the end of last season.
This is hilarious.
But yeah, this is really bad. So Katie Delham left Man U. Nobody actually knows why. She would have stayed and extended her contract, but she decided she wanted to move away.
I'll tell you why.
And she ended up at Angel City in the NWSL. Go on.
Inside scoop. Man United are useless. There you go.
Right,
they don't know how to look after their women's team. There you go.
That works quite well, you've just said, because it's now come out that last season, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, absolute idiot, was at Carrington, and he obviously came across a few of the women's team players. And Katie Delham, at the time, for anybody who doesn't know Katie Delham, was the captain of the women's team. And what did he do, Charlie?
Not just the captain. We cannot just skip over.
No, she wasn't.
She's all over their social media campaigns. She's all over everything that they do.
She was the face of United alongside Ella Toon, wasn't she?
Yeah, pretty much. She was the one that people know of. Like, plays for England regularly at that point. Like, she was in the England team, not playing, but like in the England team.
Is she on the front of that?
She's a very big figure at Man United. And
what did he say?
Did he ask who she was?
Yeah, he went. So, what's your role here?
Yeah, what do you do? Oh God, I could just imagine it.
What do you do for the club? So if the argument at the moment wasn't already about, and we've done videos on it and we've got so much grief for it on TikTok, but like United have shown that they don't really care about their women's team. That's a known. We know people who could confirm that, and it is bad.
It's difficult though, isn't it? Because like, for example,
but you look at your club as a whole.
Yeah, I know, but then probably from like his point of view, and like, who cares? But like, he's probably looking at it like, well, I've bought Man United for the men's team. I haven't bought I've had to then acquire the women's team, which is like, I can see why he wouldn't have that much care. But then it's just like that's the way football is now. You can't say the same about the academy. You can't say, oh well, I'm not taking the under-23s boys academy.
No, you can't.
Well, they're not boys, but under-23s. But like, you're not saying, oh, I just want the first team. You have to take everything with it, and that's the thing. Unfortunately for old people like you, Jim, you useless man, you have to take the women's team. Get
This
over
is just to get
yourself.
clipped, and
I
you're gonna
don't
have
care.
so many people come after you on
I
TikTok.
don't care. But like the only
It's true,
people,
though.
the
It's
only
true.
people, but the only people that don't care and would give me like some sort of hate are people that don't watch women's football anyway. So I don't care. I don't care about their opinion. So move.
Back
Just
yourself.
move on.
This is why Charlie is a green flag in the world of women's football.
No, but like it's just like if you were to say to me, "Oh, there's a really bad owner at Aston Martin and F1," I don't care. I don't watch it.
However, when it comes
So I'm
to the
gonna move
women's
on.
game, he does. Yeah.
Because
no,
I
fair enough.
watch women's football and I coach a women's team. So
Well, yeah, no, and I agree with you on that actually, and I can say I agree now because he's made the argument, so
don't
I'm
bother
just
me.
agreeing. Back on the subject of kits, we're gonna have a chat about our favourite and our least favourite out of the newly released Adidas kits, but also the Tilly shirt. And I'm throwing the Tilly shirt in there because it has also been released.
Don't like it.
Which is your favourite out of the new released shirts?
Well, all of them Euro
whichever
ones
we talk about will pop up somewhere.
I'll be honest.
Editor will pop up.
I'll be honest. With Adidas kits, I'm just so like.
Done with it.
Yeah, because they're all the same. They're all just copy and pasted. I'll tell you for a fact, the Scotland one is the worst.
Oh no, I was gonna say that's my favourite.
No, like I've said,
love it.
like I've said multiple times, it literally looks like someone's got a pink shirt on the floor. Someone's got a big tub of yellow paint. They've tripped and it's gone over the kit. It's awful.
No, it looks like a fruit salad. I'd say that's it. That or the Spain shirt.
My favourite one's a Spain shirt. But then they all just look like the old Japan one.
Before anybody comes at us, the England shirts haven't been released yet.
Have you seen what it's meant to look like?
But if that's what it looks like, I will not be getting it this time round. Which would be your least favourite then? Your most favourite.
The only two I like are the Spain and the Germany one.
Okay, I see it. Although, you know on Sims, when you're building a room and it brings the measurements up on the floor, markings, that's what the Germany shirt looks like.
No, you know what the Germany kit looks like? An Ed Sheeran album. I've just realised.
Yeah, it does. Is it still your favourite?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd say the Spain or the Scotland shirt are my favourite. My least,
my least. Bad.
And bearing in mind, green is my favourite colour. I think I'm really sorry for this, the Welsh, but I don't like your shirt.
They're all right. I don't mind the Sweden one.
I also don't understand though why when they've been released, it's been said as the Euros release.
Yeah, good luck Scotland.
Northern Ireland aren't in there, and neither are Scotland.
Good luck Scotland.
Questionable. But anyway, but the Tilly shirt as well. Let's talk about the Tilly shirt. That's really annoying. Let's talk about the Tilly shirt.
I don't like it.
I like the home shirt. I don't like the away shirt. The home shirt is sick. I love it.
I've not seen
patterning.
What's the away shirt?
Oh God, it's horrific. Let me get it up.
I've not seen it. Oh wait, is it not the one that's similar to the England one? Is that why people were kicking off?
No way.
Because the England one's a literal copy and paste of a different kit, apparently.
Where is it? No, so the England shirt is a copy and paste of I think the 1984 Men's World Cup jersey.
It's awful.
Oh,
it's awful.
Where is it?
It looks like when you open your arms like that, you got wings. Yeah, that's the England. That's the England one.
That is gross.
Have you not? That's the England one. Have you not seen?
That is gross. No, I haven't. Oh, England and Nike as well, aren't they?
It's literally the same.
Give over.
Yeah.
That's what?
Because they're Nike. I'm telling you, this is why kits are rubbish these days. They're just copied and pasted.
Well, it looks like I'll just be getting an Angel City and a
kits are useless.
Then, doesn't it? Because
you don't. There's no like originality in kits anymore. That's why I like the NWSL ones because they're different. Whereas like all the Adidas kits
it's gonna
are
be
the same.
Sick, like waltzing round in the summer in an Angel City.
Oh yeah,
jersey.
with the black and pink.
Yeah.
Is
and
it
hopefully I'm having.
Kit?
Yeah.
That's why I like the NWSL.
So hopefully, it will actually because Foudies. But it'll come in time for my hen do, and that will be my choice of shirt for my hen do. Either that or a Tilly's shirt. But right. Last point on internationals, and then I've got a surprise question that somebody has put forward for you to answer this week. Right. And if she sees this, I love you to pieces. This isn't me coming at you. This will be Charlie. Ireland, right? Ireland are playing their own Nations League matches at the moment. They are in a different league to us. Shock! Katie McCabe got a yellow card. So Ireland, you've got Connie Brosnan,
I feel so bad for O'Sullivan because she's the
Heather
best player on that
Payne,
team.
Anna Patton, Aoife Mannion. Aoife Mannion, unfortunately, not on the wing. Lucy Quinn, Rusha, O'Sullivan, Shiva, Campbell, Carusa, and Katie McCabe. For anybody who doesn't know, Rusha Littlejohn's contract got terminated at London City Lionesses, right?
Can you do me a favour?
She has not played since. Go for it.
Click on her name on
Who?
Flash Scores, Rusha, obviously. And what does it come up as team?
London City Lionesses.
Yeah, I
still.
thought it would.
So
She's got no club. That's hilarious.
she's got no club. She has not had a club since halfway through the international window, right? She's not got a club. She's not found anywhere yet. Not that's been publicised. Yet she's still being called up for Ireland.
Yeah, she's still Irish.
Well, actually, she's Scottish as well.
Yeah, I know, but she's still, in terms of football, she's still Irish. She
is
still
still
can get
Irish,
called up.
But she has had no game time. She has not got any ties with her club, and Carla Ward has still called her up. Now, I love Rusha. I don't think Rusha's bad at playing football at all, but that clearly shows my opinion is different to his. However, if you look at England, for example, right? Chloe Kelly didn't originally get called up because of game time, right? Then Sarina suddenly called her up after she'd only played 30 minutes in the North London derby. But
No, because
that's by the by.
Because Beth Mead's injured.
Carla Ward called Rusha up straight away.
Doesn't
And
that
I don't understand why.
doesn't that show you how poor the selection is for Ireland then? There's clearly not there's clearly a difference of
Could be that.
there's probably all these young players coming through at Ireland that are just not ready yet, and then you've still got the older experienced players. So Carla Ward's just choosing the experienced players. There's obviously like really talented Irish players, but they're probably just very young at the minute.
Yeah.
That's probably just what
Could be
happens.
right, but it baffled me. She's got no club and she's still being called up and starting. I don't know. I thought you'd have more to say on that. I'm quite proud of you for reining yourself in. Well done.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I want everybody at home to give Charlie a round of
I don't know
applause.
what you want me to say.
That was.
She's
very,
clubless. I think that speaks my point.
Yeah. No. Maybe. Yeah. No. Maybe. Who knows? Right. Mystery question to end it on for this week. And if anybody has anything that they want us to discuss on the podcast, message us it, comment it in TikTok lives, comment on this video. If you're on Spotify, you might have to privately message us.
You can comment on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's a
Okay.
new
That's
thing.
fine. That'll be right. But yeah, I'm gonna put a mystery question to Charlie every week now. Not although everything's a mystery in this podcast, he has no idea what is going on until I sit here and say, Charlie, this is what we're talking about.
Me.
You don't. No, you don't.
No, I know,
He
I
does
can't
edit
even
though.
dispute
He
it.
does edit. He
Yeah.
does all the editing. I do all.
And
the
I do
comments, so
this.
it balances.
I do this.
And he pushes the buttons.
I do this.
Anyway, I got asked. This came from someone in the live the other night. Is VAR needed in the women's game? Go.
Oh, I can't just give you a quick. Yes and no. Like, yes, because I feel like it then gives it a bit more kind of authority in that decisions are. Yeah, I can't even say that really. I was going to say decisions will be correct, but we can clearly see that even
Did
with
you
VAR.
watch the Everton
like,
game yesterday in the men's game?
I think I think the standard of refereeing in the women's game is not the greatest. But then I also worry that then putting referees in the VAR room isn't really going to solve anything anyway. So it's like
Really hates it.
maybe they need to put ex-pros in. If they put ex-pros in the VAR room, then fine. Then that's fine. But then you're gonna have bias anyway, aren't you? But to answer the question in the plainest term, yeah, I think they do. I think all leagues should have it and actually make it a good product. I think just bring it in. Don't do what the men do and change the rules so much, but bring it in, have one set of rules, and then just improve it every year. I think, personally.
Fair enough. And the Everton Man U game yesterday and the
Well,
Newcastle
I don't know though. When you
the
look at
Newcastle Forest game from today has not put you off.
no, I mean if you look at the Ashley Young one, he does get pulled, but he also does a 5-star frog splash in the box. So
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Sorted. Also, just to rub it in your face, on this day in 2019, Manchester City beat Arsenal in the League Cup, and we are going to beat Chelsea in the League Cup in a couple of weeks' time. You've heard it here first, Charlie. I will give you £100 if we do. That is a promise.
yeah, another trophyless season for City, but fair enough.
Well, you could have made yourself £100. I also promised. I caused a little bit of upset with Charlie's football team this week, because I gave some girls a shout out and not the other. So, hi Lucy, hi Bella, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. And all the parents are on it now, which is mental. So, hello to you guys as well. And also, as always, we are going to mention Football Hair. We are ambassadors. They have got an amazing collection, and the training one comes out very, very soon. And the hoodies are back out as well. They're back out for pre-order at the minute. So if you want one, get one before they all go again. But if you use our code Charlie Kirsty 5, you will get 5% off. But that's it from us this week.
And if you want to mention like they just got, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you go on Spotify and follow. Drop a comment. Drop a 5-star review.
Very much appreciated.
Catch you in the next one for episode 8.
We've stuck at this for 7 weeks. Go us.